Welcome to the Art Piece Experiment. We're your hosts, two artists and friends. I'm Tasha.
And I'm Brianna.
At the end of 2024, we decided we wanted to cultivate more safety, peace, love, alignment, and excitement through our art and our art practices.
So here we are sharing our journey with you, and we're so excited you're here. We hope you enjoy our conversations. They're honest, raw, just two friends talking to each other about the realities of life and creativity. We're so excited for you to join us and be along with us for the journey.
A few months ago, you had someone challenge you to lean into what delights you. And you came and talked to me about it. And I think we both kind of had the same reaction to this.
Yeah.
Of just, I'm allowed to do that?
Excuse me? What? We can just delight in things and that's okay?
And that's allowed. And it can be quirky and weird and stuff that is fun, and we don't have to totally conform. And we can take time.
Yes.
For that.
Taking time out to pause and not do things and delight in simple things too. I think that's huge. Yeah. So it was a really big moment for me when I heard this idea, I guess, of just living in delight and having that be a way of life,
Right.
And I think I think for me, it's kind of been a process of coming to accept myself and kind of figuring out what I like, who I am, what delights me, like what I really connect with. And over the last few years, little while, it's been a process. It's been on my mind for a long time. And I've been trying to figure that out. Especially, amidst like motherhood. I think that really kind of throws you into that, where you get so much into taking care of this little human being, and then you're like, who am I? And you lose yourself. I think a lot of people lose themselves in motherhood and parenthood. But since my son's been in school the last few years, and I've had more time to really reflect and figure out what do I want, and now I have time,
Yeah.
And so I've been on that journey a little bit, but it wasn't until just a few months ago where I heard that that it really made the switch, I think.
Yeah. You gave yourself permission.
Mind. Yeah.
Like, this is a valid option. And it's not a bad thing.
Right.
Which I feel like growing up, we're told, like, hurry up, work harder, all of that kind of
quit messing around.
Yeah, that kind of mentality. And and you don't get to stop and smell the roses. You don't get to
stop getting distracted. Keep going. I find myself doing that to my son too. Like, no, we just got to go. Let's go. Like, stay focused. Right.
Right.
It's just so much a part of our culture. And
like, there are times for that.
Yes. Right.
But
not all the time.
Not all the time. That shouldn't be every moment.
I think, and I think so often we just get so in the go mode. That's our, hustle culture, and just you have to work really hard and do a lot and go, and taking breaks for yourself to just do nothing, to just sit and do nothing. Like, we don't even sit and do nothing because we sit and we scroll, or we, make a checklist, or we check our emails. We're always doing something.
Right.
We're never really unplugged in our society where we just sit and think, It has to be like a conscious effort in our society now. And so taking that time to reflect and think, what do I delight in? It takes it, it takes a kind of a conscious effort.
Yeah, it
It can
does.
be really hard.
Well, it's interesting because growing up, we're programmed to like please and appease our parents,
Right.
and you know,
Well,
it,
that's how we're wired
we're
too,
that's how we're
biologically, you
wired. Yeah,
know?
it's like, as little kids, we tend to like what they like
Mm-hmm.
and get excited about it, and like there's nothing wrong with that. But then, as we become teenagers, it's like you start separating from your parents a little bit more, but then like friends become more important,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to just kind of fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you get older, if you get married, or dating and having relationships, and it's still that kind of like
Mm.
fitting in, like that's a
Yeah.
big part of of growing up, is just kind of like finding where you fit. And sometimes we lose a little bit of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times we live for others
Yeah.
rather than ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're not really taught how to live for ourselves and how to
Right.
connect with ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we um we're like you said, from a really young age, like we're taught, do this, don't do that, we're
Mm.
we're really guided by our parents, which is their job and that's what they're supposed to do, and it's totally
Yeah,
fine.
no knock on parents on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but and then we listen to our friends and engage what the social group, and that's part of our survival mechanism, right, where we
Yeah,
have to stay connected to our tribe in order to survive, and so that's all wired, and it's a normal natural thing.
right.
But the thing that we are so often missing, that I feel like we kind of we people grow up, and then, I mean, that's why we have like midlife crisis,
Yeah.
like that's a
Who am I?
exactly. We
Yeah.
kind of try to figure out who we are as an individual rather than a person that fits in this group, right?
Mm-hmm.
um because we
Mm-hmm.
go off, we don't have our friend group anymore, we get married, we go,
Yeah,
we go have a
yeah,
job, we like, we just separate
yeah. And it's
from.
interesting too, because when you grow up and you do move, and it's like a culture shock. Like even if
Mm,
you move
yeah.
somewhere, in the States, like for us, we're
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
grew up in the States, and just like moving to a new place, there is some culture shock and things that are different. Like I grew up in Seattle, and people there wear fleece
mm-hmm,
like all the time. Like it's just a normal,
mm-hmm.
like fleece sweaters and jackets and stuff. And then moving to other places, it was like, oh, that's an interesting style you have.
Yeah.
And I never thought about it as like wearing a fleece jacket is not stylish. It's not like my style, but
Yeah.
it's just what people wore there.
Right.
And realizing that that wasn't across the board, like everywhere. That's
Yeah.
like a choice people make. It's not like a normal standard
Not a
thing.
thing for everyone.
Yeah, so the people are like, oh, that's interesting. It's an
Yeah.
interesting choice. It's just like, what are you talking about? um yeah, and just like realizing the world is like a bigger, I don't know, a bigger, there's so much more possibility.
Yeah.
um and it's interesting to see how where we grew up and the people that we spend our time with really shape us in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways. And then I think that's part of what the midlife crisis is
Mm-hmm.
too, of like you kind of break from that and realize like, wait, do I even like these things? Like who even am I?
Yeah.
How do I fit in my new environment? And
Be true to
be
myself.
true to myself. And I feel like
Yeah.
when we heard this, challenge of, I mean, it was a soft challenge. It wasn't like this hard,
Yeah.
like you to go and delight yourself. It's just like, here's a new way of thinking about things. But when we heard that, it was um, almost just permission to come back into alignment,
Yeah.
and to just notice like what brings me joy, and
Mm-hmm.
like just even the small moments, noticing how the sunlight, hits the leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and just small things that are like just, yeah, just bring joy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like I've always um kind of leaned towards doing that. Like I have always kind of
Mhm.
done that,
Yeah.
like saw the little flowers in the cracks of the sidewalk and it was like,
Right.
oh, that's so fun, and wanted to delight in those little things and the things
Mhm.
around me and things that maybe other people didn't notice or didn't appreciate or was like, okay,
Right.
whatever. Um, and so I think I've always had that inside of me, but um, never felt like it was it was okay to
Mhm.
delight in them and openly
Yeah. Openly. Right.
um and fully,
Mhm.
even to myself, like I would notice it
Yeah.
and be like, oh, but then kind of dismiss it in my own head without even
Right. Right.
without even
Same.
saying anything to anybody. And so yeah, I think I think too. I've been reading lots of like books and self help because this has been on my like in my heart. Like I wanted to figure this out. Like how do I
Mm.
fully embrace myself
Yeah.
and be okay with that, right?
Mhm.
And so I think there was a lot of stepping stones that kind of led to this fully like, oh, that was the last kind of
Mhm.
the last
Mhm.
kind of thing that needed to kind of fall into place for me.
Right, right. And there's so much resistance to it too. Like
Yeah.
when we both, for both of us, when we first heard it, it was this like, "Ugh,
What?
you can't, I don't know, can I do
Is
that?
that allowed?
Is that allowed? Like, am I allowed to just find joy and think, like, stop and smell the roses? Am I allowed to just like take those moments?
Like literally stop and smell the roses
Yeah,
on my walk,
right.
and not feel like,
Just,
oh, somebody's going to think I'm so weird for
yeah. Or it's gonna
stopping and smelling the
be,
roses.
yeah, it's gonna inconvenience somebody,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
people are gonna think you're weird, or it's like,
Yeah.
no, just enjoy the beauty in life,
Mm.
and not just
Unabashedly,
in
like,
general, but what genuinely excites you,
mm,
what genuinely makes you feel more alive and excited to get out of bed every day.
yeah.
Just noticing those moments and having appreciation for them. And I think there's a lot of just this idea of it just being, um what's the word I'm looking for? uh
Kind of, I don't know, taboo or
well, yeah, like kind of selfish, kind of
mm,
fanciful, kind of,
yeah.
like you're just living, in your own little world, and you're not being realistic, and you're,
Yeah.
you know all of those kind of ideas that just get like thrust on us, when it's we really should just come back to ourselves and find joy and delight in our lives, and what an impact that makes in every aspect of it.
Mm,
I mean, for us as artists, it helps us lean into what we're creating,
mm-hmm.
and wanting to create, and then we produce m- more impactful, more meaningful
Yeah.
work. And then there's more joy, there's more joy in the process, there's more joy
100%.
in all of it. But then that also, it impacts, being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
It impacts friendships, it
Yeah.
like every aspect of your life, because you're showing up more fully as you.
Mm. I don't think we really fully grasp that. Like, I don't think I fully grasp that either, but of how impactful that is and how important that is to
Mm,
show up fully as you. I think we just discount ourselves so often
yeah.
that it's like not that big of a deal. It's fine. It wouldn't make that big of a difference.
Mm,
But when you are showing up fully as you, as yourself in your full goodness and beauty and light, it spreads.
yeah.
It spreads. And it inspires also.
Yeah.
It just spreads so much goodness and so much light and so much, I don't know, just all the good things, truth, beauty, all the
Yeah.
good things. And I feel like, I don't know, there's something you said earlier, but I feel like we um we kind of go through this and feel like delighting in those little things and taking time, and pausing, and living in that headspace, like
Mm-hmm.
you were saying, is kind of like this fanciful,
Yes.
unrealistic kind
Yes.
of, you're just in your head and you're not in the real world. Um, but the light coming through the trees and the beautiful flowers and the
Mm.
beauty around us, that actually is the real world.
Right? It is.
That is the real
And
world, right?
especially when you think about it, like a lot of us do live in fantasies,
Yeah.
but they're like doomsday
Yeah.
fantasies. The anxiety, the worst case scenarios, the like
Yeah.
a lot of us roll through that,
Mm-hmm.
in our minds. Like it's there, it's in the back of our minds. We're constantly worried about it. And
Problem solving. Yeah.
yeah, and instead it's like we could use that energy
Right.
to notice the beauty, the good things, the magical moments,
Yeah.
the, moments of joy. It's,
And if you just take a second to think about, like, imagine that difference of those two mindsets, of the spiraling, the
mm,
negative, the like just fully in your head thinking about things, thinking about problems, stressing,
yeah.
and walking through life. I mean, we were just talking the other day. It's like we don't even, like, we go through life pretending so often that, like, things don't exist, like other people don't exist, like at the grocery store, you don't make eye contact, you
Yeah.
just go through, you like get your stuff, you're all about you and what you do, and
Mm,
you just, like, you that's the way that our culture goes through life.
yeah.
And then if you contrast that with, so being in your head, being spiraling, all of that doomsday, and then contrast that with looking at your surroundings, like actually paying attention to
Mm-hmm.
what's around you and feeling grounded and
Mm,
in your body, and like, noticing things that are around you and smelling things that are around you and hearing the things that are going on around, like all of your senses, and what a
yeah.
more like a full body experience that is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much calmer.
Yeah.
It's so much calmer and so much more
Mm,
comforting too.
yeah.
And um, I think if we took the actual time to practice that and to notice the things
Mm-hmm.
around us, I think our world would be a lot calmer place,
Oh, for sure. And it's really living in the moment
Yeah.
and being in your, like, really coming back and like being in your body, being in the moment
Mm.
and making the most of the moments that we have. Like
Yeah.
I was telling you the other day, is like I walked into my kitchen and I had a bunch of dirty dishes in the sink that I needed to take care of, but at the same time there was gorgeous sunlight
Mm-hmm.
coming in through the window, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like making all those dirty dishes sparkle, and it was just not something I would like take a picture of, but at the same
Yeah.
time it was so beautiful,
Right.
and just like I mean, as an artist, I notice light
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of studying of art, or
Uh,
of art of light.
yeah.
And so it's something that I do notice a lot, and I do find a lot of joy in it. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just, like winter ends and spring comes and you start getting those like
Yeah.
beautiful,
Beautiful sunny days.
beautiful sunny
Yeah.
days, and it just fills me up and it makes me so excited to just be alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the past I would have walked into that kitchen and been like, "Oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I have
Mm-hmm.
so much work to do. Like I can't even wrap my brain around like taking care of these dirty dishes
Instant
cuz
overwhelm. Yeah.
instant overwhelm." And instead it's like, "You know what?
Look at that
I can
light.
just look
It's
at
so
that light
beautiful.
and
Yeah.
allow myself that moment of peace and
Mm.
happiness."
Mm.
Which, I mean, it's kind of a silly example, but it's really just making the best of the moments that we have.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the drive over here this morning and um kind of did the same thing where I was stopped at a
Mm,
red light and I looked over, and there's like a median, with a tree and grass in between the lanes, and it was just this tree with the leaves starting to bloom and green, and the light was coming through it, and then kind of like sparkling on the grass, and it was like, wow, that's so beautiful. And then there's like a gas station right behind it, but it's like it wasn't all beautiful, but it was that small little pocket of beauty, right?
Right.
And it gave me so much joy. And whereas normally, you're just going through and it's like, oh, there's the gas station, there's this, it's just like, oh, it's normal. But
Yeah.
having that pause and noticing and paying attention, it gave me that little brief pocket of beauty and peace and wonder of like, wow, how the light comes through the leaves. And then, I too, as an artist, was like, I wonder how I draw that,
Right.
Which is, it's a beautiful thing about being an artist. That's something I really love.
Noticing
but
the
it doesn't
pretty.
have to just be, as an
Yeah.
artist mindset. But finding those little pockets in our days that are beautiful,
And
or
it's
that are
there
just,
even when we're going through hard times.
yeah,
Like the other day, my daughter and I sat on the couch and cried together,
yeah.
right? And she was going through something
Oh.
really rough, and um I just held her, and we cried together, but then after letting that out, we also had some moments of laughing together,
Mm.
and we're able to look at that moment, and we like had this conversation about like even when the bad things are there, because they happen and they come up, and there's hard things that we have to deal with and go through, but there's still beauty like intermingled
Mm.
in that, and
Mm-hmm.
there's love.
Yeah.
And you know if we only focus on the bad, then we're so missing out.
Mm-hmm.
We're missing out on life, we're missing out on ourselves, we're missing out on relationships. Like
Yeah.
there's so much goodness in the world that it would do us well to focus more on
Yeah.
that.
I heard a podcast. Oprah Winfrey was being interviewed by Jamie Kern Lima. She's the author of the book Worthy, and
So good.
it is just so amazing. But in that interview, I don't remember what question Jamie asked Oprah, but I remember Oprah saying, "You cannot fully become like your full truest self
Mm.
without if you don't kind of get out of yourself,
Mm.
um, and not just focus." So I'm paraphrasing this terribly, but
As one does.
yeah, just the fact that you have to have a broader perspective,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and that's really the key to becoming your best self.
Right.
Um, and I think we so often just focus, so we have tunnel vision,
We do.
we have tunnel vision. We get in these modes of just problems, 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 or solving, 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 or this thing,
Mhm.
and we don't look outward, and we don't appreciate the things around us as much because we just move right past it,
Yeah.
and we just are in our go mode. And so I have always really liked doing a gratitude journal. I've done it since I was a teenager,
Mhm.
and had, off and on years where I haven't done it, and then I've gotten
Right.
back into it. But it's really helped me. But recently, since hearing, this mindset of delight, I was like, instead of doing a gratitude journal, I want to do a delight journal. Like,
Mhm.
what delights me? What delighted me today? That's what I write on my page. What delighted me today? And then I like
Yes, I love
make a
this.
checklist.
I
And
love this so much.
yeah, and it just, that simple little switch too, from gratitude to delight. I don't know, both are great,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
really liked thinking of it in that way, framing it that way. What delighted me today?
Mm. Mhm.
What filled me up and gave me energy and made me happy and made me smile and feel good,
Yeah. Yeah.
what delighted me. And I think as I practice that more, it's gonna be more apparent, and it already has,
Mhm.
by thinking
Mhm.
of it, um trying to think of it as in my days and what I have seen and things like that. Yeah, it really helps. And that really helps too, like you said, get through the really hard things.
Right.
When we have that extra outside perspective, when we take that step back, take that deep breath, kind of have that room to breathe.
Yeah.
Mentally.
And
And
emotionally.
Yeah. And see things in a different perspective and in a more, I think, rounded perspective too,
Right.
because we can't just dismiss the bad.
I mean, it's there.
Because it's there. That's not
right.
healthy either.
Right.
Right. Like, but being real, like, this was a really hard day. But also, I really loved, I don't know, the air smelled really sweet last night, in the evening, and it felt like like florals, and it
had
was
some
like
chocolate.
Yeah.
Like I had a few moments of laughter with my child.
Yeah.
Got a phone call from my friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the little things. Because even though they're little, if we add them up, they become big. They make a big difference.
They do.
They make a big difference.
Yeah. And I mean, this is all what I love that you're doing the delight journal. Like we talked about that. I have not been right. I haven't been writing in mine. I need to start. It's hard to.
It's been off and on.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to start doing that, but I've been trying to notice more and just letting myself feel and notice things that get me excited and to not tamp that down.
Yeah.
Like that's the big thing. It's like just letting myself have those moments and just being excited and having fun and to not just not tamp it down, not suppress. Not suppress who I am, just let it be.
Which is it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's a big deal. It can be, I mean, it's so ingrained and it's so taught, and we have so many habits, years of habits of doing that.
Yeah.
And so being able to even recognize is big, is big. Great.
Yeah.
And then being able to let yourself have a moment of that, like not immediately shut it down. That's the next step. That's a great step. That's growth. And then, hopefully then the next step.
Yeah. It always starts in small steps.
Right.
And I feel like that's the healthiest, best way to go about it, because that's going to bring the lasting change. Because it really is, we're rewiring our brains and rewiring our nervous systems to allow ourselves to see the good things and let the good things be safe.
Yeah. Building that new pathway in our brain. Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like this is just everything that the art piece experiment is supposed to be about.
Exactly.
It's like coming back to ourselves. And when we started this, we didn't have that idea of delight.
I feel like we did, but we didn't have it fully.
We didn't have the words.
We didn't have the words. Yeah.
Yeah. We weren't fully giving ourselves that permission.
Yeah.
Because we didn't realize we needed to. And then when we realized we needed to,
it was like, oh,
like,
yes.
Click. It just made everything so much more clear.
Yes.
So we really want to challenge you to just let yourself delight in things. We just want to extend that challenge.
Get curious about what delights you. Ask what delights me. Yeah. What do I delight in? What makes me feel happy and feel full and gives me that little tickle of delight, oh, I really like that. That was fun. What is that? What are those things? Yeah. Pay attention to them and
don't suppress them,
and let them come. And it's okay. This is your permission slip. To delight.
We got it earlier this year, and we just want to spread that a little more.
Yeah.
What a difference it's already making, and we want to see that for you too.
So we want to hear if you would like to share. Please leave us a comment and let us know.
Yeah, share something that delights you today. We really want to hear about it, and it'll make our day a little brighter too.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you next time. That's it for today, friend. Thanks for spending this time with us. We hope you're leaving with a little more light, a little more peace, and maybe even a nudge to go be creative, just because it brings a little more joy to your life. If anything in this episode spoke to your heart, sparked a thought, or made you smile, we'd love it if you'd follow the show, leave a quick 5-star review, or share it with someone who might need a little creative encouragement too. And remember, your creativity matters. Your voice matters. You matter. We're cheering you on always. Until next time, keep making, keep softening, and keep showing up as your whole beautiful self.